What up?
What up?
Dog.
What up?
Dog. Are you able to share or do you need privileges to share your video?
I don't know what that means.
Is there a share button on the bottom?
Yes, there is. How
Can
do
you
I
share a
do
video file?
I can. Wow, look at that. I didn't know I could do
Excellent.
that.
So
Okay.
add your video file to the stream and then it'll be... So I took two
I
video
got
files
three.
today.
Okay.
Oh, you
Can I
have
do-
three?
Just because I didn't put them together.
Yeah, just add all three of them then.
Okay.
We'll just switch in between them. And in the background right now is me dying to a boss that I was very not prepared for.
Good. I tried going into that red area today. I'm not ready for it.
This is me. I'm so deep in the red area here. You know, because you know that chest down in the dragon lake? Did you open that chest and get
No,
teleported to the crystal cave?
I opened a different one that teleported me to the giant guy on like the plateau.
Oh, the giant fire guy in the capital city?
Yeah.
There's another one down. If you go in the ruins in the lake, you get teleported at the very, like, deepest part of the red area.
Oh my
And that's
God.
where I am here, trying to fight this guy who just, like, destroys me easily.
Yeah.
Man, all right. What are your video? I would just want to watch your videos here.
Right. No.
I want to watch you play.
It's going to be way worse than you did. Well, what's the first one I think is a very minor mini boss. The
Excellent.
second one, at least in the order I'm looking at them, is the lion guy that gives you that big sword. And then the third,
Okay.
we talked about him today. The third one, I think, is just me goofing around.
Okay. I have my first one here is a rather long one where I'm in the ghost city of something. So that one, maybe I'll save till the end because it's a spoiler. Guys, I was assuming if we're gonna have
It's all
videos
kinda
playing, it's all
spoilers. Yeah.
well. And then my
hate
second video is shorter, and it's me going into one of the dungeons in Limgrave and then fighting the dragon in the lake.
Nice. Okay.
I fought this guy. I tried to fight this guy twice, and
It's a
I was like,
spoiler
nope,
for
that's
me.
not gonna happen.
That scarlet rot nonsense.
I don't like that. I don't
Did
like
you-
any of that scarlet rot.
Did you find the second tree guy with hammer? In the
Second
Scarlet-
tree guy with hammer.
Yeah, same guy, but he's in an area that has a whole bunch of stuff that when he hits it, it spreads scarlet rot.
Ugh. No, I
Yeah.
don't want to fight that guy.
I cut it from my videos because it was just like, it looked like I had no idea what I was doing, which is true, because I didn't know how to get him out of there. Because you have to like tease him out of this area.
Ugh.
But when you tease him out of this area, he's surrounded by a whole bunch of guys that deal poison damage, just like the first Bird Tree Avatar has a bunch of those guys around him. So it wasn't good.
I'm gonna pause this. This is me trying to
Okay.
get back to the haunted city. All right. So hey Joe, thanks for joining in,
Oh.
and we'll get this show on the road. Is this an MMO? Before we even introduce that, we're going to be talking about Elden Ring. Is Elden Ring an MMO?
No.
It has some multiplayer functionality.
Technically, yeah. I mean,
The answer to your question is no.
the answer is no. But for better or worse, I think it benefits from not being an MMO. I don't know what this game would even be if there were other people in it.
All right, and we got another Joe. Hey, bored to play. How's it going?
Jones.
Here's what we're gonna do. So Ken and I have been playing Elden Ring. So
About
you
20
can
hours each, I would say.
Yeah, I'm right at the 15-hour mark. I looked before we started, so I'm right
Really?
at 15 hours. Yep.
No. This
Mm-hmm.
says 17. Don't downplay it. I'm at about 18, according to
What do you,
Steam.
oh, 17 of like having the thing open or something? My save file says 15.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, you're probably
I don't
right.
I don't
Okay.
know that I left the game open for two. Maybe it doesn't
Well,
count character
it
creation and stuff.
loads and it, yeah, does
And
all sorts of
loads
stuff.
or something. I don't know. Yeah, on my save is 15 hours,
That's
something,
about
something.
right. 15, 16.
All right. So we have never played.
Gosh, yeah. Where do you start? I mean, do you start with the
Look, we've got a whole.
history?
We do. We have a whole show here to talk about Elden Ring, and
I
I'm
think
going to use it all up.
I think you start with where this game comes from to
You
provide
have to.
context for why I think it's exceptional.
I be,
I
I
gotta make a
agree.
joke. I don't know why we're doing this. We could both be playing right now, and that would be better.
I don't know
I
why
think.
you. I can't believe you said that. Honestly, I can't believe you said let's stream this tonight. It was your idea because I was like, well, tonight I know
I'm
what I'm
just
going to
gonna
do.
play.
I'm going to play Elden Ring. Like I have played a lot of video games, and I have always been scared of the From Software games, and
Yes.
not necessarily scared of Souls-like games, but the actual
The
Souls
right.
games,
This is
the
the
real
gosh.
deal.
So From Software, which is a weird name for a company that develops games like
Yes,
this,
it is.
they develop very, very hard single player, boss centric, I think mostly linear progression games where you walk through dungeons, you kill bad guys and bosses. If somebody kills you, you restart way back at what's called a bonfire usually, and you have to go again, and you have to go
Right.
again. And bosses especially, you have to fight multiple times to know how they attack, know their attack pattern, timing, all sorts of stuff.
Exactly. Yep. And the thing is, it is they're purposefully difficult,
Yes.
and when you die, your experience is dropped where you died.
Yes.
Right? So you have to go get it. You have to go back and get it. And I definitely say one of the things I learned first in this game was don't get too attached to your experience because you might
Yes.
not get it back.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
probably won't.
I have lost at least 3 or 4 levels just they're just out
Absolutely.
there somewhere.
Completely
out
agree. And I think so what we're going to do today is Ken and I are going to just start talking. Yeah, well, like, so Joe makes a comment here. There's a streamer that played through all the Souls games consecutively without getting hit. Well, that's not us. And
Right.
like, I've been too scared to ever play these games. There
Well, I think-
there are people who make these look easy, and they aren't easy.
Right. I think the reason we want to talk about it is because this is the first one that in our approach to games is really attractive. So, like, it's super accessible. It's not easy. I wouldn't call it easy,
Nope.
but it provides alternate routes, which the other games didn't provide.
Yeah. What this one seems to do differently, I think, is that there are more frequent checkpoints until you're in the
Yes.
what they call the legacy dungeons, which
Yeah.
are essentially legacy Dark Souls levels. Like Stormvale Castle, for example, is a legacy dungeon, and the checkpoints are spread further apart. But
Oh,
in
really?
the
Okay.
rest of the game, well, like what I found in Stormvale, in all of Stormvale, there's one checkpoint at the beginning, there's one checkpoint in the middle that you can unlock a shortcut back to, so you don't have to beat a part of the dungeon once you've beat it. And there's one checkpoint right before Godric. That's
Okay,
it. There's
that's
only
fine.
3 checkpoints in there.
That's fine.
And it is
Yeah.
fine. It's that middle part before you unlock the shortcut that you're like, that's when you're right at the edge of I'm out of flasks, and I gotta find a. They're called
Sweaty
sites of grace,
controller.
right?
Yeah.
This is a heart rate rising.
This is a heart rate monitoring, sweaty palms game.
So I'm gonna say up front, this is spoilery for the first area of the game, which we're gonna call Limgrave and the Weeping Peninsula and everything south of Stormvale Castle. So that's as far as we are. We're to the first. I beat the first Shard Bearer, which is Godric. He's in Stormvale Castle, so everything up till there is fair game.
Are they really
There's
called shard bearers? I thought that was a
yes,
joke you
no,
made about.
no,
Okay,
that's really
all
what they're called.
right, okay. What are those
Oh
books
man,
called? The
the Stormlight Archives,
yeah.
Shard
Okay.
Bearers, right? I hope you're in the dungeon with the like stone golem guys, and at the end the boss is that freaky
I'll
cat.
tell you what.
Oh my
For it to
gosh, that
play,
cat!
if you're in the dungeon that I think you're talking about, I had to play this game for about 10 or 11 hours before I went
That
back.
stupid cat.
And then I just smacked that guy around, though, because the timing of his movements. I mean, this is what this game is timing of enemy movements. You're dodging, you're blocking, you're countering in that sort of way. Can you turn the volume down so we don't have to
Yeah,
talk
I just
over it?
I added it in, but now I need to turn it down.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm in the one with the fire. Yeah, I think you're in the one we're talking about here, Joe. It's Joe, right? We got two Joes. Gosh, it's so the history of this game, these games, and this publisher is important. This developer, I should say. They made a game called Demon Souls, I think,
Yep.
which was not popular at the time. I think it was maybe PS2, maybe PS3. I don't know.
PS3. It introduced the idea of this, like
This
the
concept of,
system,
like-
right? That's
Yeah.
why they're Souls likes. Oh, here
And
are
then
you going into Kaled here?
I tried, and then I realized this is not for me. So maybe, oh, you know what this is? This is because I was checking out this area. It looked too powerful, and what's down here is a enemy player. It's an invader that I
Oh,
had to
really?
beat. Yeah, he's protecting the site of grace.
Oh, like a real. So it's an NPC
real-
enemy invasion.
Yeah.
Or is it? It's not a because you can get invaded by real people. I don't think I've been invaded by
think
anybody
it's a
real
real-
yet.
You tell me. Maybe it's an NPC. But so the story is they came out with Demon Souls. It was like a cult following. They had Dark Souls 1, which was a big deal.
It was. It
And-
came out the same month as Skyrim, and I remember
Wow.
because a fantasy RPG was coming out. Two of them. I didn't. I had played Oblivion, and I was like, okay, should I get Skyrim or should I get this game called Dark Souls, which everybody's talking
Yeah.
about? It's supposed to be amazing. I rented Dark Souls, and I played a little bit of the Undead Burg, the first area that you're in, and I was like, nope, this isn't for me. So
Yeah.
I obviously returned the rental, and I bought Skyrim, and I never, ever touched one of these games again. That was like 2013.
Almost the exact same thing happened to me. I played, I got to the first boss, and I just got trounced over and over and over, and I said, I'm good. Because the problem with most of this developers games,
Dang, look at
in
this
my
guy
opinion,
munching on you.
there's no way to turn the volume down. I guess the viewers can do it, but
I can turn it down.
no, it doesn't turn it
oops,
down for all of us.
I skipped the...
I
Oh,
don't
really?
think- Yeah.
Because is that not quieter if I do that? Like, if I do that, is
Now
it
it
completely
is.
silent for you?
Host has muted. There you go.
Because I can just turn it, like, very quiet like this.
That's good. Like, I think the biggest problem with the way these games work is if you get to somewhere that you can't beat or you can't progress past a boss, that's it. You're stuck there until
Yeah,
you beat
you-
that boss.
You got to bang your head against that wall. At some point, you get to a place where you have to beat
You
the
just
boss you're
have
at.
to keep going.
Right.
And okay, so here I was doing a bunch of flasks because I knew this was a melee-based invader. So they made Dark Souls 1 to great success. Dark Souls 2, I think, is generally regarded as not the strongest.
I think,
entry,
yeah, I think it's regarded as the worst one.
which I think they're all basically on the same level, but it's weak, I guess. Then they made Dark Souls 3, which is supposedly good, and then I think they either remade Demon Souls or they made Demon Souls 2. I don't know which one it is.
So if you're talking about the PS5 one?
I think so, yeah. I
That's
think it's a
they
remake.
remade Demon Souls, but it wasn't
Okay.
from Software. It was another developer redid it for Sony.
Gotcha.
while FromSoft was working on this game.
Gotcha. Okay. So then there's
Oh
then
man, you're not
there's
kidding. So there is an invader here.
yeah. So there's Demon Souls remake and Dark Souls 3, and then they made
Pick up your runes.
Bloodborne. I don't think they were worth anything. Oh, it was like 1900,
Get away
which
from
at
this
this point
guy.
is like not worth. Yeah, I think she gets me here.
I see what
Yeah.
one thing I want to say, like, so Ken and I recorded some of our gameplay today. We've never
Yes.
seen each other play the game, and this is Ken playing from today,
Yes.
and I want to watch
I'm
it
really
so
bad.
bad.
I'm really, really bad at this, but
No,
I'm
no.
getting so much better. So they made those two. They made Bloodborne, which I think was generally okay, which was like a new setting. And then they made Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which in my opinion was the most visually interesting
Yep.
because it had a cool color palette, cool setting. It was way more vibrant. But from what I've heard, they basically doubled down on like, well, if you don't get past this area, game over.
Yeah, I heard
And
it's very linear. It's the
it's like the
most linear,
hardest one. Yeah.
and it's very focused on parrying and then being aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah. And so this one, in stark comparison, is open world. It's very open world for the most part, which means if you can't beat a boss, you just go somewhere else.
Right. You just bang your head against somebody else.
And
Now,
it's so silly how much of a difference that concept makes to this game mode or this
sorry,
game
Ken,
style.
I didn't mean to cut
go
you
ahead.
off there. Board to Play does ask, what classes did we pick for our starting classes? I picked the
Vagabond?
Vagabond, the first
Yeah.
one that's on there, the one that has the knight's armor set, the shield, and the longsword.
Yeah. And I am a confessor, which is sort of a paladin. So sort of tank, sort of magic, a lot of healing. There's a lot of self buffs. I don't think there's one or two party buffs, which are not super useful because the party buffs only
It buffs
apply
your
to-
summons, though.
It does, but you gotta summon, and summons take a lot of mana. I don't know what they call it, FP.
Yeah, that's true. That's all I really use my FP for, though, is to summon wolves,
Right.
because I don't have any spells anyway.
Right.
So I have been constantly going back and forth on whether I should get Faith or not to sort of turn my character into one more like Ken's. And I just can't ever afford to spend the levels on
I think
Faith.
you're in too deep, right?
I really am. The only thing I think that I went too far on is I spent a level on Arcane. I didn't need to. I spent 2 levels on Faith. I probably shouldn't have. Gotcha. And then I really leveled up my dex to use the weapon I'm currently using because it required 16 or I think it required 17 dex and 18 strength to use. And I don't know where I'm going to go from here. I've just been doing strength.
I mean, I think you're one of the classes where you can just go vigor and strength, which is basically.
Oh man, do you
health
beat
and
this
strength.
guy here? You must beat this guy here.
No, I do not.
No, come on. Look, he's dead, Ken.
Maybe I do.
You must. Look at him. Jump attack.
All right. Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right.
You got him.
I felt pretty good about that one.
But here's the thing, right? Okay. I like, spoiler alert. We're 15 hours in. This is one of the best games I've ever played.
I agree. Yeah.
It's hard and rewarding and interesting and obtuse, and it's a mystery, but it's exciting, and it's scary, but it pays off. And the fact there that you were like, I don't want to fight this guy. I don't want to even deal with this guy. He's protecting the site of grace. But you're like, all right, I'll do one more. And then you got him. And now you feel...
Now I'm getting the time. For me, I like this game a lot because it solves 2 problems. It solves the problem that I don't like any of these From Software games, and this one is great. This is
Mm-hmm.
by far the best, and it's really encouraging. I think I see a lot of people who are Souls hardcore fans also like this. They also think this is a great, like, hey, this is how we get, um, maybe lighter weight fans in, right? They're not trying to. A lot of the reviews are from people who played all these games, and they say, "Is this a little easier?" It could be, depending on how you play it.
Mm-hmm.
It's also not easier, right? If you just run right through it, this is a Souls game. You will get killed all the time. The other
Right.
half of this and what it solves for me, I think, me personally, is what this does is um, this is such a much more interesting open world game than the last 5 or 6 open world games we've gotten. Like some of the
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed games. Just recently, I don't really have anything against uh, what is it called? Horizon Forbidden West yet, because I've barely played it, but it has all those, like, we've seen open world games a lot in the past 10 years, and they're all just becoming homogenous.
Right. And there's so much hand holding. And now I
There
normally am
is.
not against that. I'm not
I like
necessarily
that most
against
of the
that.
time because I appreciate my time. If there's not
Yeah.
enough hand holding, I get mad because I don't think you're respecting my time.
Right. I want to feel like a superhero, especially like from the beginning. Maybe there was like I remember Assassin's Creed Odyssey. The level 5 bully on the first island is scary. And
Yes.
then later on you're like fighting minotaurs and stuff.
Right.
And you're like this is but at the same time there's quest markers everywhere. There's, go to talk to this person, talk to this person. There's tons of dialogue, you
Yeah.
know. And in this, it's like if you took Zelda, Breath of the
Breath of the
Wild,
Wild. This does feel weirdly like Breath of the Wild.
right? But you put I think the map is filled up even a little bit more than Breath of the Wild,
Yes.
and then you made the combat like crazy, like.
Yep. Yep.
But
Yep.
here's the difference. Here's the big difference. In Breath of the Wild, your character build is around a couple of different pieces of equipment you can acquire, and maybe
Yep.
some armor or whatever.
Mostly
This
armor.
game
Yeah.
is like it's the most like role playing esque game I've ever played. Where like when we play Dungeons and Dragons, the wizard's abilities are completely different than
Yes.
the cleric's abilities are completely different than the fighter's abilities, and everybody kind of starts a little bit in one of those directions. But over the course of this game, you can build your character so differently, and you can
Yeah.
handle these
Watch
enemies.
this.
What? No!
I was panicking because
Look at how many. Look at how many runes you had.
Never got
5,000,
them back.
Ken.
It's not
No.
even one level. It's not even one level.
No.
I panicked.
Oh
It's
no,
also,
Ken.
I will
Oh,
say,
no.
early on, I got to get a critique out of the way. This game looks good, but not great. It performs pretty poorly, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
it is pretty hitchy. It's
They
hitchy.
need to, and it's not the quality of the video there that made it look like I glitched on that jump. That's an in-game frame skip there.
Which
Not
is
that it
disastrous, right?
It doesn't
It is.
excuse me jumping off a cliff, but
It's disastrous in game when it hitches like that. If you're in a
well, when you're
boss fight
fighting a boss, are you kidding me?
and
That
you
you're
get a
dead.
hitch like that,
It's over. Yeah.
all right. So we've
hopefully
switched
this
to
happens.
me.
Yeah.
This is again spoiler territory. I opened a
Definitely.
chest. I'm
Oh,
not going
look
to
at how
necessarily
cool
say
you are.
where.
Man.
I opened a chest and it teleported me to a part of the map that I do not have the map for. So if I were to open up the map screen, it would be like blank where I am. I don't know where I am, but I'm very far to the east. And I found this ghost town. So you'll see me roaming around this ghost town fighting these like invisible mages. And what you have to try to do here is figure out how to open these blocked gates because one of them blocks your way out of town.
Oh man.
You'll see me do a bunch of like dumb platforming stuff too, as you try to figure out like how to get different places and
Where's
fight
that
these
shield?
stupid invisible guys.
That shield is sweet.
I got that in Stormvale Castle. Like, this guy almost killed me
How often
because I'm a
do
big
you...
dummy. Look at me just taking hits from
You're
this
not
guy.
blocking it. I mean, so how often do you lock onto targets?
Always.
Always. Okay. Huh.
I never don't lock onto targets unless I forget or for some dumb reason.
Right.
In this video, if we get there, you do see me. I'm in a boss fight, and I start to panic a little bit, and I start pressing the wrong buttons. Like, instead of roll, I press the use button, so I drink a flask when I should have rolled, and a bunch of, like, dumb stuff like that.
Yeah, I do. It seems like the first couple encounters I get into when I fire up the game, usually in the morning at, like, 5:30 in the morning, because that's when I get to play. It's like,
me too.
I don't remember, like, what are my presets, because... especially me as a paladin, I usually pop at least 2 spells and a what's it called, a wondrous physic potion before any encounter.
Right. If it's an important encounter, I pop the physic potion too because it.
Oh, you have to.
How do you have yours spec'd out?
Right now, I think it's stamina because I blocked so often that I have to. And then I think it's damage negation right now to me.
Oh, I don't have the damage negation sphere.
I don't know where I got it. I'll have to tell you what it is. Yeah.
This door here to my right, that's the one that blocks you leaving this town. So you have to figure out how to get rid of these. And So Joe asks, is the equipment random or preset? So depending on what class you pick at the beginning, you get a set of starting equipment that's like appropriate for your class. So the armor I'm wearing here, except for the greaves, is my starting equipment. I did find new gloves. Wow. But I haven't been able to find new armor. The problem is it's like you're dealing with weight all the time, and if you're too heavy, you roll slower, like so slow,
which will get you killed so fast.
You'll die instantly because there are invincibility frames to the roll, right? So you can roll through a lot of attacks.
There's just for you, Ben. There's invincibility frames to the summon and dismount on the horse as well.
Oh, you're invincible when you're summoning?
Yeah, the horse specifically. So you can dodge that way too. And like that, but like even the fact that we're talking about that is like, okay, this game requires that you kind of exploit what I would consider maybe faults, or like if we're talking about summoning your horse at the right time in order to dodge a boss attack, that's like old school Sega Genesis cheats.
Yeah, right.
That's what like I don't know. Is the equipment in world random?
Yeah, is the equipment in world random? Not at all. The only randomness I would say is that some of the enemies have a random chance to drop the armor they're wearing.
But it will always be what they're wearing, right?
Yes.
Some random dude is not going to drop the sword of Avalon. He's going to drop a brass shield because he has a brass shield.
And the sword I'm using here is a specific drop from a boss. When you defeat the boss, you only have to beat him once. You get this sword. That's it.
Interesting. Like my sword, I think, is a very low level enemy drop, but I really liked the way it moved, and so I just you can see them all. Wow, you got a lot of stuff.
Well, see, there I'm too heavy to have the crossbow and my sword equipped at the same time, so I have to unequip my sword, re-equip the crossbow to get this guy to aggro, then go back to my sword, so he'll come back and fight me. And he still didn't do it. He aggroed me, but he wouldn't come over here. And I was like, I don't know what to do because I wanted to get the item that's on this little bridge.
Yeah.
I think we should just like
stuff while we're watching each other play, but
we're watching each other. Like, here's the thing. I find that, I'm becoming my character. And the reason for that is because of the difficulty of it.
Because you have no other choice. You don't get to pick up a bow and arrow and play bow and arrow because it wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, you there's never any quest markers really. So if you meet it, let's say you meet an NPC that now I'm pressing the wrong buttons. If you meet an NPC that people put messages freaking where the activation point is for ladder, so you can't activate the freaking ladder, jerks. But the fact that it is so hard that you when you win, or when you go back to an area that was difficult in the beginning, you feel like you're making real progress.
Yes.
Like you actually. I should fast forward because we have
Joe,
I should fast forward this because we have a couple of videos here, and to the boss fight in this area because I don't want to spoil this whole puzzle. Like I don't want to necessarily ruin this whole puzzle for everybody.
Man.
Okay, so here, where do I finally go to fight the boss? I think it's. All right, I finally got through the town. I'm not going to ruin how the town works. And I go back in because beating that ghost town unlocks 2 bosses. And this took me quite a few tries. But, I'm playing a 2-handed longsword, right? And so, what am I doing here? Trying to switch out my...
man, look at all that stuff.
My charms. See, I thought, maybe I'll put this charm on that lets me wear heavier equipment.
Yep.
And I'll put on a heavier helmet. But the thing I didn't like about that is it made my roll, it didn't give me a fat roll, but it made my roll slower.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
And I didn't realize, even if you don't go past medium load, your roll slows down when you're heavy.
Yes. Let me pull up. So where do you wind up at? 50.3 out of what? Because I read somewhere that it's 70%.
Yeah, of 73.7.
68.2% load.
Right, but that's with that rune equipped. I had to equip that rune so I could put that freaking stone helmet on.
Huh. Look at all that cool stuff you have, man.
Well, I've only sold duplicates, so this is everything I've found so far.
I made such a mistake and sold so much stuff early on, thinking it was like existing, open world games that we have where, I'll just get a bunch of this crap. But you
don't.
There's almost no duplicates.
You get one of each
Even low-level stuff you would have to grind for.
Well, and here's the thing. When you defeat the shard bearers, you get their remembrance, and you bring that to a certain lady, and you can pick one of 2 things to unlock.
Oh, man.
And the other one you cannot get.
Wow.
And I'm absolutely convinced I picked the wrong one on the first boss. Yep, I picked something I'll never be able to equip because of the faith requirement, and I should have just picked the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so dumb. Yeah, so here it showed the summon sign, so I was like, you can summon guys for this boss.
But not in here.
You can't summon for the boss, actually, so then my wolves disappear.
And
now I have no FP or MP for the fight, so I can't use any of my abilities.
Yeah.
I don't know why I bother carrying that shield around, because I never use it.
Yeah, just get rid of it.
I know, it's just weighing me down.
Wow, 2 at the same time. Holy cow.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do about these guys. They have these super long-range, melee attacks, and they just destroy me.
Yeah.
Instantly.
I mean, that's how it goes, though. First try is always, feeling it out, right?
You don't know what's on the other side of those doors.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what...
I'm trying to back up a little bit again here.
Yeah, we should.
Why is this game getting the praise that it is? It's accessible. I think it breaks both the Dark Souls formula and the open world RPG formula that currently exists. And if you play a lot of games, particularly open world RPGs, which you and I both play a lot, trying to think, Assassin's Creed, We tried Anthem. Gosh, that blue Division. Even some of the looter shooters fall into this big open world category where everything just seems like it's copying stuff from the others.
Well, they
And
kind of like walk you through it, you know.
yeah, I understand why that happens, but oh, you're doing some damage here, man. Um, what else is good about this game? I mean, in terms of the Dark Souls thing, if you were ever scared to play Dark Souls, which I definitely was, I did. This is
Me too.
I
Like
don't like repeating the same thing over and over. Right? I value my time. Doesn't mean I need to beat it on the first try, but once you get the hang of this game, at the 8-10 hour mark, maybe you can get them in 3 or 4 or 5 tries, maybe. And that's the sweet spot. That's
right.
the juicy, like, I was talking with another friend who said he fought the first, I think he's not one of the shard bearers, but he is a major boss. He said he took 70 Margit the Fell Omen.
Yeah.
Which if you follow the plot line of the game, you'll get to that guy in about 90 minutes. And he will destroy you so fast it's unreal.
Oh yeah. Did he just like bang his head against that brick wall?
No, he didn't do that. But he played maybe 6 or 7 hours, and then he tried 75 times, he said.
Against Margit?
Against Margit, and he got him. Which is like, I don't know how you did that. I don't know what makes the 75th try different than the 74 preceding it. I don't know. But like for me, I think it took probably 12. You said you got him in 1, which is insane.
I got Margit in 1. Yeah, Margit was a pushover for me, but I think it just was a mixture of the summon that I used, which was the wolves, which distracted. I had the wolves leveled up.
Spoiler: I heard the jellyfish is the secret to beating him.
Really?
He's weak to poison. Yeah.
So I think this is where I was like, oh, I was close on the last one, and I was like, okay, I drink my physics flask, and then here I tried to open the mist, and I just kept drinking my regular flask. I was like panicking, you know, for the fight. I'm pressing the wrong button, so I'm down 2 flasks, and I learned on the last fight, jumping attacks don't work on these guys because they just hit you you're in the air.
Yeah.
So a board play asks, can you only use summons on bosses? No.
It depends.
But see, look on the left. It's showing that little it's doorway.
It's a little white gate. Yeah.
I didn't realize you can use summons on these guys. I never bothered to look.
Had to look it up. That I will say this: there is a big weakness of this game. It tells you a lot up front, but it only tells you about half of what you need to know. To be honest.
I honestly think to have fun with this, you need to just go in your free time, watch YouTube videos of how do I get past this part? What does this do? What's this thing for? Where is this guy?
Yeah. Because it assumes you've played some Dark Souls games, I think. And
yeah, I think that's just how they all are.
Well, that's the thing. They've taken known concepts and they've renamed them for this game. Like a Site of Grace used to be called a bonfire. And you're just supposed to know what that is and does.
Yeah.
Or, you know, how does, what's a sword stone key? Or what's a golden seed? What does a sacred tear do?
Exactly. Especially because you can start the game with a golden seed. I didn't know what that was.
Right?
I sure wish I would have done it.
I've picked frickin' boiled shrimp. And then because I didn't know the controls, I ate all 5 of my boiled shrimp in the tutorial, and I'll never have them again.
What do they even do?
I don't know. I don't remember because I didn't know what the controls were.
Right, I took the one that gives you it's the shoot, what are they called? The thing you can equip that gives you a buff. Runes or something like that?
I don't know. It's not runes because runes are money, but they're also
talisman.
Experience, yes. Talisman.
I think they're called talismans. I took the one that gives you extra health. I don't even use that anymore. But I tell you what, if I'd taken a golden seed, I'd sure be using that extra flask.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't start with a ghost. That should be the first. That should be the only.
You should only get that.
Right? Like what the heck?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I'm trying to
You
think what
know,
else.
it's
What
something
else?
about the. You know, I keep thinking about the way that exploration feels literally like exploration because
Yes.
every
Yes.
corner of every turn of every corner is a potential trap. You know, there's a
Yep.
bad guy, there's a boss, there's a tough enemy, there's a hidden guy.
There's a dungeon. There's a this. There's a that. Right, and it does maintain. Ben's a much better player than I am, but you know, average guys can kill you if you get cocky or sloppy. Right, you're just
Well, I like I
Moving
said, I
around.
beat Margaret on the first try, walked in the castle, instantly got killed by a regular knight enemy in the castle.
yeah,
You know, I was like, what the
Yeah.
hell?
yeah, yeah.
Gee, I did not realize
This
you
is
could
cool.
summon against these guys. That would have made this fight
That would have made
so
this
much
way
easier.
Summons are one of the. I don't know if they're in the other games. They are a.
Sneaky bastards kept popping away from you. You couldn't get close to them.
Yeah. They are the summons though in particular, and some of the spells they give you are what make this game easier for newcomers, I think, right? Because you can crowd a boss temporarily. Not for the whole playthrough, not for the whole fight, but you can crowd him enough to heal and get some mana or whatever it is, cast
That's
a spell or
bullshit.
something. This is bullshit.
Those guys are almost dead.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. When that health gets so low, I think was that this morning or yesterday morning. I was fighting the first boss, and my heart rate was at 112.
That's crazy. That's like you're running.
I got him though. I got him. It was worth
Oh, that's so good. All right, this is when I was like, I gotta change some stuff up. So I changed up my flask. I was like, the health regen, it doesn't regen fast enough anyway. I'm gonna need to add some sort of buff. So I think I put in the one that makes charged attacks do more damage. I was like, maybe I'll just try to hit him with a charged R2 and just take him out. But you know, we were talking about that exploration is exploration, and at the same time, well, exploring a new place is literally scary. I don't know if it's the same way for you, but sneaking around Stormvale Castle.
It sucks. It's probably my least favorite part, but it's a fun scary. It's sort of
right. But like my heart's racing. And I would say like look stuff up for like where's this item? How do I do this NPC's quest? Or I don't know where to go here. But don't look up like walkthroughs of dungeons. Like don't know ahead of time where the checkpoints are.
Yeah.
Because it's scary when you at first, but what's amazing
it's supposed to be scary, right?
Is right, but then each time you get a little further, those first parts that were scary, you've now
silly. Yeah.
You know them. You're
Easy
like, oh,
peasy.
this is like this. What was I so scared of? This is like 30 seconds of this dude or running around this guy or whatever.
Just trying to get through a hallway. Man, I'm not looking forward to fighting these two.
Man, there I did that teleport move. This sword has that like backflip. You do a power attack backflip and then you teleport and hit him. It's so good. Finally, now I only have to deal with one of them. I was so happy. But this guy started doing a bunch of crazy crap because he was by himself.
Well, that's how it always happens, right? Is once you knock out one, then they got like a whole new move set. And so, yeah, go ahead.
Like you were saying, like now I've fought them enough to know, like, okay, this guy does a 3-attack combo: dodge, 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 hit. Right? It's like at first it's like I don't know what's happening. You just get instantly killed, and then you're like, yep, dodge, hit. Right? Like I know his moves now.
Yeah.
And you know the range of stuff.
It took me, I'm going to admit, it took me probably 10 hours to learn how to read all enemies' moves in this game. To be frank.
Yeah. Like to get just better in general.
Just better in general and just like because there is a design theory to the way they make these enemies and the way there are exceptions, right? There's like that cat statue that moves in a way that is
that thing's a creep.
insane, but it's fun and it's cool, and it's like that one made me mad because it's so I don't know. Anyway, you can it takes a little time, but man, this game is cool. It just cracks open a lot of stuff that needed to be kind of turned open. Nice.
Right. And it definitely, like, at first it's just confusing, I feel like.
Yes,
and then it's sort of like, oh, look at this.
Dab? Oh, no. All right.
I wish there was a dab.
I'm sure there is somewhere. Somebody Google it right now. Elden Ring dab animation.
All right, we'll switch back to, let's watch some more Ken play. Here we go.
So this is, my armor sucks, but see, I accidentally sold my original armor.
Really? But your original armor probably wasn't that good. Oh, just beat the cat after dying a ton to the fire and the goblins. Yes.
Nice.
You beat the creepy cat.
The cat is really hard, in my opinion. I think that might be one of the hardest.
The cat is just, it's hard to read its movements because it's so weird.
Especially, you don't have any summons when you originally face it, or I didn't. And without summons, like, there's no break. It just, like, floats at you. Spoilers.
Yeah, right. Because I went there right from that first church, and you don't get the free summon bell until you go leave the church and come back to it.
I didn't get summons till, like, 7 or 8 hours in.
Well, how did you get them? Did you buy the summon bell at the round table, or did you?
The girl shows up at the church, and she's like,
"Oh, I got you."
This. Astrologer, I don't.
Ooh, so you're gonna do magic? I think that's probably the coolest way to play, but it would certainly be the hardest learning curve, I think.
Yeah, I've heard there's a super deep magic system in this, which is why I picked a more balanced one. So.
Do you? Oh, go ahead.
What? No, I'm not going to say anything important.
You walked. This isn't your first time in Castle Morn.
That's what I was going to say. I was here once, and I thought I cleared it, and then I realized there's a whole. Talk about sloppy play here. Almost dead. 2 guys in. There's a beach behind it.
See, I missed that too. I did you go up and talk to the guy?
Yeah, he gives you a twig. I was like, okay, I think that's it. I'll leave.
Yep, I did the exact same thing.
And then 5 hours later, I was like, there's got to be something here. There's stuff down here.
Yeah, so I went in and talked to him, and he was like, I'm not going to leave.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. And then I was like, do you have to clear out this? He's like, I'm not going to leave while the castle's under threat. And I was like, do you have to clear out this whole courtyard area? Which you don't.
Which is what I did. I went down and I cleared the courtyard and went back in, and it doesn't change anything. Yeah.
So I was like, well, what the heck? Because, what actually clears it is killing the boss, right? But I was like, I guess you got to kill all the enemies. I tried that, and nothing happened. Yeah, you're right. There's that broken wall. You go back there, and it's freaking the second 2/3 of the castle. That's the thing about this game is like,
yeah, you can walk past.
It has that
of an encounter,
right? Yeah. So it on its own, it has that stuff that's like, this is lame. Like the fact that you can so easily miss that is, wow, you destroyed that guy so fast.
That flail is really good. I need to get my dexterity up, or I need smithing stones to upgrade it. It's got. It naturally has bleed on it, and then
that's nice.
Yeah, you can equip. I think it's a holy damage, Ashes of War. So you're doing holy and bleed with 2-handed.
Oh, nice.
You can wield it one-handed as well. It's very good.
So you have it. It has bleed, and you can put Ashes of War on it.
Yep.
Oh man! So
all flails have bleed.
That big sword I have that is the backflip with the teleport is like a named item.
Yeah.
It's like a one of a kind, so you can't put Ashes of War on it.
Ah.
And it doesn't require smithing stones to upgrade. It requires somber smithing stones,
Yep.
which are much harder to find.
He says, "Can we?"
Oh,
start
Ryan's
over?"
here. He missed everything. Can we start over? No, but you can
Yeah,
watch
sure.
Ken take Castle Morn.
What was I going to say? You know what? I mean, I love this game. There is stuff that like, um, there's even passive effects on weapons and armor that's not in the stat page. You have to press, I think it's X, and it'll tell you like, oh, gradually restores HP over time or something. And
Oh,
you would
really?
never, oh yeah, you would never ever see that from the stat page, which it's not a bad thing, but you got to tell me that.
Did
Right?
you mean to drink that FP flask there, or did
No,
you
no,
accidentally?
no. Of course not.
Yeah, here it is. This I missed this the
Yeah, this
first
took me
time.
forever.
Oh man, do we get to watch you beat this guy down here? I hope so.
It takes me forever to get down there. Are you able to like fast forward?
Yeah, you
Because
can
I went
fast
down
forward.
I skipped like 4 or 5 minutes. I went down this way. It's not the right way because I was always
Oh,
afraid
really?
of fall damage. Yeah, so here I am down there.
Oh yeah, okay, you're definitely down here now.
Yeah, because I'm like, can I make this jump? Can I go over the edge? I don't want to die and lose my runes.
Let's just leave this on the
Yeah,
screen.
that's
I drink
story
my
of my
flasks while
life.
panicking constantly. I
Yeah.
also switch from my flasks, and I
Do you know
like consume random items accidentally.
Ben?
Yeah,
Ben knows my plight here. I skipped through a lot of the tutorial stuff. I didn't know how to use flasks until about 4 hours in. I think
What?
I didn't know how.
That I didn't have a problem with. I was
Well,
like,
it's because I zoomed through stuff and it's like, well, whatever. I'll figure it out. Can't be that hard, right? But the like
but it
menu
is that
D-pad
hard.
menu navigation is complex.
Well, do you know if you hold Y, then you get your pouch, which is a whole new set of items?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I went way back. I was like, okay, tell me everything.
Because oh man, look at that! You just tanked that attack.
That's that barricade
dog.
Ashes of War. That's what I'm saying. When you have that
Oh,
enabled,
what? How did you like staggered him while he was mid-air? Ah, that guy killed me so many times, and you just like made him look like child's play. I don't appreciate that.
those guys are easy. Here, I'm gonna
They
be right
they
back.
aren't.
Hold on.
They are for you because you have that freaking shield.
I told you, I showed you where to get the Ashes of
No,
War.
I never. I only equip a shield, but I never use it. I only two-hand because you
So
get a 50%.
You just keep the weight on you, or what?
That's right. You get a 50% strength bonus to the weapon if you two-hand it, so you do extra damage.
You know what? Here's a hot treat, especially for the new guys. They say before you get on your horse, equip your weapon two-handed because while on horse, it will deal the same damage as
Really?
two-handed because you can't wield your shield anyway. So
That
if you're
seems
gonna,
like a bug.
I think it is a bug. They're gonna patch that. I would imagine. Yeah.
So you just picked up a talisman there. Talisman.
Is that the turtle one or no?
It was the
No.
twin blade talisman. So
Twin blade.
there are things you can equip to
Here I
give
am
you
trying to
buffs while
figure
you
out how to
play.
get down here. Yeah.
And you have so many slots for them. It seems like when you hit different level thresholds, you get more slots for talismans. Because it seemed like in the beginning I had one. Now I
got
have
a
two.
bag. I picked up a bag that gave me a second talisman.
Or maybe
spot.
that's what I did then.
Yeah.
Well, if you got to run to the
bathroom,
bathroom, yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead, Ken. I'm going to watch you make your way down
it's
this
just
castle.
Me climbing down this wall. It's not exciting.
Maybe I should fast forward to you fighting this boss. That's what I need to do. Yeah, I mean, we kind of like said it already. It's funny because all I want to do is play this game. All I want to do is talk about this game, and it's crazy because everything I've ever been afraid about for Souls games is kind of in this game. But the reason that it makes it okay is that I think there's checkpoints more often. The open world feels more explorative. Like you're not going through a dungeon down a path or down a predetermined path or whatever, you're like, you know, you're kind of like doing your own journey, but you can also feel that you can do these things in any order, but they're on the bigger picture that each area of the map has an order. Like you can go over to Kaled, I think it's called. It's like to the east of the map. You can go there right in the beginning, and you get stomped. You like you immediately realize I'm not supposed to be here. But the thing in the very beginning of the game that's interesting is as soon as you come out of the initial tutorial area and you come into the open world, there is a guy there called a tree sentinel. He's a boss. He's like this huge golden guy. And it is honestly there to teach you a lesson. And there's a lot of stuff I feel like in the initial Limgrave area that's like to teach you about things. Like there's one of the dungeons in the first area that has a lot of, every single elevator has a, if you roll off of it halfway, you go to like a secret area. There's like 3 elevators in this dungeon, and they all have that same thing. And I think it's trying to teach you, like, hey, sometimes elevators have secret passages halfway down if you roll off. But, like, that tree sentinel that you come out to, and I'm curious, Joe, if you tried to fight him or not. Like, I was like, okay, there is a giant boss, the very first thing you see in the game, and you have seen one checkpoint. And you know, it's like, am I supposed to fight him or not? And if you try to fight him, at me being like what I would call a Dark Souls novice, trying to fight this guy, without knowing the mechanics of the game at all, it's clearly meant to say like, hey, there's some stuff you can just go around. Because if you go around him, you go to the first church, and there's some stuff that happens. You meet the first merchant. You get a checkpoint, and there's a place to smith there. It's kind of like introduces you. It's like almost like a little tutorial area. But, you know, it's kind of like meant to be like, hey, you don't have to fight everything in this game. And I kind of like that the whole game is sort of like teaches you things that way. It presents you with scenarios, but doesn't explain them. You know, so then when you actually figure it out, you feel so accomplished. Like you feel like that you actually figured something out for real. And it's not solving some puzzle. It's like figuring out where you're supposed to go, like when you should stick it out and when you shouldn't. You know, if you're in the Limgrave area in the beginning of the game and you're in the Whispering Peninsula, like, or Whispering? What is it called, Ken? Wherever you, the part of the map you're on.
Rain. It's like withering or
something like that.
Weeping?
The Weeping Peninsula. There's a tree. There is a elder tree guardian there or whatever that I had a really hard time with. Like, honestly, I fought him for literally an hour. Wow. I don't know how many tries that was. It was maybe like 20, you know, or more. Also, I kept dropping down onto these jellyfish by accident. They don't attack you unless you aggro them. And I kept accidentally falling on them, and they get all pissed at me.
You can skip like 2 or 3 minutes.
Are you going to fight the boss here?
Well, you saw me almost die to those rats, so...
No, you took care of those rats. The rats killed me.
I'm with you, Ryan. Fighting a boss 20 times does suck. It's different in this game for some reason. Watch this.
For some reason. Don't walk off that. Oh, shit. You can roll off that edge in the boss fight, and I had him almost dead on like the second try, and I rolled off that edge and died. And then it took me like 5 more tries. I was so pissed. Fighting a boss 20 times actually does kind of suck. But fighting a boss 6, 7, or 8 times doesn't suck that much.
That's the sweet spot.
It's very rewarding to fight a guy 7 times and then beat him.
But this game allows you to walk away after 5 tries. That's the whole takeaway.
That's the thing. I'm not ready yet. I'm going to go do something else. Like, there's always something else to do.
Joe just beat that cat. I could not beat that cat. I probably played it 20 times. I said, I don't know if this game is for me. I went and leveled up for hours and hours and hours. I went and I beat, what's his name? Murgit. I beat the first major boss before I went back and beat that cat.
Really?
Like, oh yeah. I was like, that was like, there's got to be a term for like the breakthrough. I don't know, the moment. So here you go. First
Summon
try.
in here.
You gotta feel this guy out. Yep.
Are you not a summon fan?
I am. I just didn't think straight, right? So my first line of defense is my block.
I don't know why he knocked you down there.
I
feel like you could have blocked both of those. You had plenty of stamina still. So are you popping that super shield ability pretty often?
Yes. So it only lasts about 15 seconds. But
Okay.
But it's L2 and it using it is a block as well. So it's
all right.
It's not like drinking a potion where you're disarmed basically. It's really good. But when you've got a boss like this hitting you 4 or 5 times in a row, you run out of stamina is what happens.
Yeah, this guy's pretty freaking relentless. That's his only. He never stops. Like you don't get a break. The only way for me, because I use that high stagger two-handed long, like big giant sword,
right,
is I could break down his poise or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
see the bosses have.
He's got a
they have like
meter.
Right, and when you deplete that meter, then you can get a critical attack on them.
Did you know they only introduced that in Sekiro? So they made 3
really?
Yeah, that's where that came in. And I cannot imagine playing these bosses without some sort of stagger.
Really? Because like the whole thing is, I mean that's the whole thing with strength weapons.
How you beat them. Yeah.
Because the two-handed does extra damage to their stance. Their stance meter or whatever.
Yeah, it's poise, I think is the word, like you said. It's either charged R2 attacks, which is your heavy attack, or it's two-handed attacks. Break poise.
There we go. Here we go. Now we got some summons.
Well, and now you're going to get to see me. This is how I beat maybe not yet, but this is how I beat the tree guy. Let the ghosts handle him. But then once he aggroes, this guy in particular comes after you pretty quick once you deal real damage to him. So I don't think I got him this time, but
I don't have enough FP to do any. I can cast like one healing spell because of my faith, but I wouldn't have enough FP to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Like I only have 10 mind, I think.
And then I've got these Godric soldiers, but they're so slow. You have to get the boss to like walk at them.
Yeah, they're not aggressive. The wolves, I like the wolves because they are like they'll just kill themselves.
Yeah,
they just go until they die.
Their health is too low, so I don't know.
Well, I have them leveled up to +3, I think. So now they're pretty good.
I don't have the girl yet.
You just have to, did you meet in the Storm Hut or whatever up by Stormvale Castle, that girl with the red dress?
No.
All right, so
yeah.
She's like sitting in that little hut.
Yeah.
So if you talk to her a bunch and then go to the talk to her until her dialogue ends.
Yep.
Right?
Did that. And
then go to the round table. She's in there.
Not there. She's not there. Are you supposed to solve? Oh, I did kill him.
You do not have to do her side quest to get her to go there.
Quest? She's not there. I don't know.
Well, yeah, if you just talk to her and then the blacksmith a bunch back and forth, then she's a
I saw that
summoner
on YouTube.
level up.
She's not there though.
Dang, she was there right after I talked to her. When I went to I talked to her and then I went to the what's it called? The Knight's Hold or whatever, and she was just standing there by the fireplace.
Huh. I don't know.
Way before I ever went into Stormvale or anything.
Here's the sword.
Oh my gosh.
Ryan says, "Do you get boss fatigue, where you finally beat the boss and then go to time?"
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you do.
Yeah,
That's
that's how you
exactly
play
what
the
happens.
game. Yeah,
You
you beat
finally.
him. You test out his weapon and go to bed. Yeah,
But, you know, like
look
Ken
at
there
that
did
thing.
did that boss in 2 tries, and the pair of bosses that I was fighting earlier, that was what, 5 tries maybe?
Something like that. Yeah,
You know,
those are.
that's kind of the sweet spot. Enough
Yeah.
time to learn the boss, and then most of them are like that, I would say, right?
Yes. Yeah. Even the first one I fought, which was, did you ever beat the Beast Man? He's in the
Yes.
forest. Yeah. That took
I
maybe
fought the
5 or
Beast Man.
6. And I was like
He
level 1 or whatever, 10, whatever you start at.
right.
He was hard, but he had a pattern to him that right away you can sort of analyze and pick apart. And that's
Can I
really
back
what it
this
is.
up just a second here? I'm going to
Yeah.
pause it. This screen with all these numbers is so confusing in the beginning.
It is. It's
I don't
still
know what any of
confusing.
this means. And now I do. But that's what I mean. You know, I was talking to the guys on, we were playing D&D 5th edition on Monday. Dungeons and Dragons night. And I was like, you know, most video games are like D&D 5e. They're streamlined and they get you in and get you playing. And Dark Souls or Elden Ring is like Pathfinder, where you have to min-max stats to get extreme imbalances based on the numbers that you've done, because look at all these numbers, right? So there is, well, here, the Golden Halberd, so you must have killed the Tree Sentinel. So this is what you get for...
No, I didn't kill him. I don't think.
No?
Did I?
This
No,
isn't
I
this
did.
what you
Yeah, I
this
did.
is what you get from killing the Tree Sentinel.
Yeah, you're right. I haven't even
Right?
tried that actually.
So it has an ability up at the top, Golden Vow. What does that do? I don't know. It has an
Holy
FP cost of
damage.
40, which is like
Yeah.
half my freaking FP.
Right.
It has a weight which is heavier than
Super
whatever
heavy.
you're using right now. Wow, it's super heavy. But then it does. Look at how much it does. A ton of physical damage and holy
Bunch of
damage.
holy.
This does a lot of damage. It scales.
Oh,
The
it actually
damage
is a very
scales.
good-
Oh,
Sorry,
go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say it's a very good shield. Guarded damage negation. So if you're two-handing it, you can still block with it.
58%
Wow.
physical damage blocking. That's pretty good
That's
for a
way
weapon.
worse. It's good for a weapon. It's way worse than a shield.
Well,
but-
yeah, a good shield is 100% physical
Yeah.
negation, right? But, you know, and then there's on here, it's like, all right, attribute scaling. Okay, it scales very
And
poorly
they-
with Dex.
They never tell you about that, man.
No, this isn't explained anywhere, like it at all. But you kind of figure it out eventually. But at first, I was like, I don't know what any of this means, and I don't know what I should have equipped.
Yeah.
I don't know what I should be using or what I should be doing or what I should put points into. But then you pick up a weapon like this, and you're like, well, I'd like to be able to use this sometime. And it has a, like, for it shows here for Ken, it has a 30 strength requirement,
Which is so high.
a Dex requirement of 14, and he meets the Faith requirement, which is a minimum of 12.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to use this someday, it's like, I guess I got to get to 30 strength, right? You know, and so, but 30 strength is how many levels
13
away?
levels away, which is a lifetime. That's about 10 hours. I
Wow,
would
your
say.
strength is high.
Well,
Dang.
I
Now I'm
think
looking at your stats.
I didn't
So-
understand what strength was, I think, when I was putting points on into it early on. And so it's probably higher than it needs to be. But I still, the spec, the stats thing is weird to me still. I don't know.
It's, yeah, right? All right, well, I'll jump over to, this is one I recorded of me, I think, going into a cave and then fighting a dragon.
Dying. I gotta kill this guy still.
So this is me back in the Limgrave area, but I am sort of leveled past this area, I think. Like,
Yeah, probably.
I am, compared to where we saw me before, right? In that ghost town, fighting those bosses in a place I don't even have the map, like, that I got teleported to, that I'm supposed to be, like, scared of. I was kind of holding my own there a little bit.
Do you go all the way in?
So, Oh, yeah, I like finished this, and I even beat the boss in here.
This
But again,
part's
it's
hard. You can only heavy attack these guys.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Oh, well, sorry. Maybe it's because you're using two-handed, actually, that it counts.
Well, yeah, and it's a two-handed, and it's a long sword or whatever, so
Yeah.
it like does a heavy counts as a heavy attack.
Yeah, I think that's why.
So I think on the way down,
You gotta jump off here, right?
you got to jump onto there. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the dungeon I was talking about. That's like full of these like we're gonna teach you that sometimes on elevators there's half ledges.
Yeah.
Also, when you find it, definitely equip the lantern because it doesn't go in your hands, but it's a light
I forgot
source.
to equip mine. I did get one. Thank you. Text me
Yeah, the
tomorrow
lantern's the
morning
best.
to put it on.
Put your lantern on. Put it in your pouch or whatever.
But like, I think I got trapped somewhere like this where I didn't know where to go, and I just died in this tunnel over and over until.
So you went in here? I had never been in here before.
I've been in here, yeah, to get because there's a bunch of smithing stones in here.
Ah, I have a lot of level 1 and 2 and maybe even a 3 level smithing stone, but I don't have a weapon that
Wow, my
uses
that mace I have kills them in one. So I think this is
maybe
you should have like a hammer or like a blunt weapon basically.
so that's my problem here. This is a bladed weapon, and these guys have like stone skin or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
I think what I want to try to do is find a hammer, like a big hammer that, because I'm getting
Like
used
that guy,
to this.
Hold on. Turn around. He was mining
I
a
got 'em both.
smithing stone right out of. No, you have to go get the stone he was mining.
No.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that. I'm not going
Yeah.
back in there for a smithing
You got to
stone.
go back in. Yeah.
Dang it.
So this is the one where you got to jump off, and it gets real hard. Right
Yep.
there.
Right there.
And I've died in there
And-
a couple times. Yeah.
I, of course, forget which side it's on, and I go off the wrong side.
Yeah.
So
Because down here, there's not much. You can.
no,
clear it
this
pretty
is sort of
quick.
like a dead end.
Yeah.
There's some dogs.
Man, I mean, I'm trying to articulate that this fixes Dark Souls for me, and it fixes open worlds for me, because I think open world games in particular are way handholdy, and they're very vanilla, and they all feel the same. Like the cliffs that you're supposed to climb on are painted yellow.
Yeah.
And it's just
But those have their place. I've just played a lot of those lately.
They're all like that now. That's the problem. It's very like this is a crazy departure for an open world game.
Right. It's like we're going to build a giant open world that's actually scary.
Yeah.
I think I was looking at my phone here. Hold on. Let me skip forward a little bit.
No worries.
When do I finally
Roll off the edge.
roll off the right side of the... See, here I am. Look, I'm rolling off the wrong side. Dang it.
Oh, no. Look at that. And you
Why
must
are
die
those-
up there, no?
No,
these
there's like a
bloodstains,
way
jeez.
down.
Yeah, there is one on the left. I saw it.
I cannot stop playing this because
It is addictive.
the
I
progression
don't know
of
what
like
it is.
being absolutely overwhelmed and then feeling like you made progress, and then there's bosses that are just unbelievably difficult, but then you beat them, and then you come back later to a place like this that would have been so scary for me in the beginning of the game.
Yes. Yeah, you
And
could
I
not
haven't
get in
used a
here.
flask yet.
Yeah.
This is not a problem. And it's partly because I'm leveled up, my character is stronger, but I, the player, am also better at the game.
More importantly,
Like I know
you
what,
know how to play the game. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I know what to do. Like I'll do just like I know that while that guy's in his getting up animation to hit him with a heavy attack.
Yeah.
This guy's probably doing some fire thing, so back up. Like that's the kind of stuff that gets you in the beginning that later you're like, "Oh, I know what to do." And you then the game makers know that and they start adding stuff later like
Right.
those teleporting
it.
freaking ghost wizards
Yeah.
that mess with it. And it's the same thing with like when you fight Godric, you'll see it is so hard to time his attacks because they're all delayed. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
all these like I'm gonna wind up for the swing, and then you do the dodge roll, and then he's like, haha, and that's when he swings. You know what I mean? And you're like, gosh,
Yeah.
dang
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Like, and it was designed that way on purpose. And now
Yes.
you know when you're in your 5th attempt on Godric.
I did get down
And
here. And then
You
what
didn't? You
happened?
did not get down here?
I did. I opened this door and then whatever this thing is. Oh, it's a troll. That's right. It blew me to
Yeah, it's some
pieces.
sort of troll. This is
Yeah.
the perfect example of I'm not better, my equipment is better. Because
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy is just not a problem at all. Where, he's he's the boss of this dungeon. But I am just I'm trying to finish up all the stuff I missed in Limgrave after I went up to the castle.
Yeah.
Right, it's like, oh, you can just his moves are so telegraphed.
Holy
You
cow.
just dodge.
Well, and
See
God.
there, I staggered him, right? So now I can do
Yeah.
the critical.
Well, and you've got some sort of shield that translates physical damage to stamina burn, or something's happening there. Oh, you
Yeah, that
roasted
little
guy.
ball around me, it
Yeah.
completely 100% blocks the next attack that hits me.
Wow.
So if I get hit, it's 0 damage.
Nice. That was it. Didn't even look for a chest.
Was there a chest in there?
I don't know. You'll never know.
There probably was. There probably was. Dang it. I wasn't even thinking about that. There always is a chest.
I would assume there is, right?
I would assume too.
So this
There-
green area is the starting area.
Right. This is
And
Limgrave is the starting area.
I spent probably 12 hours there. For people, I don't know how long you spent, but
Well, I'm at 15, so I'll probably 11, because
Yeah.
where I am right now, I went up to Stormvale and went through Stormvale. Just skipping a little bit ahead here. Okay, this is the cool part. Because I had never been down here in the lake. I
I've
knew
never
what was
been down
down here
there
in the
still.
lake, but I'd never...
yeah, I knew
done
there was a
this.
dragon there. Somebody tells you, and an in-game character says, "Don't go down by the lake. There's a dragon."
Yeah, there's a
there."
dragon that lives down there.
Yeah.
Shoot, when do
Yeah.
I actually go over there? Oh, here we go. You can see him. Here he
Seen the-
comes.
Yeah, I've seen the bonfire. Whoa, look at that, man! That is so cool.
Right. That's
When was
and
the
this
last
is,
time you saw that in a game? Wow, you're just
But
cutting.
it's
your own-
seeing that and then being legitimately
like
afraid
you have
of
to
it.
fight him. Like,
Right.
I've played plenty of games where he flies in like that, and then it's a loading screen.
Right. Or it's like you have to hit the glowing spot on his ankle
Right.
to
Yeah. Everybody knows.
dodge the fire and go to the glowing spot and hit it. And again, like I played plenty of those games and had fun with them. But
This is just
Oh.
such a different. Yeah.
this is like you'll see, I try to swing at him, and if you don't hit his if you don't hit him, you don't hit him.
Yeah.
Like
The
I missed the
hitboxes are
hitbox.
Very accurate. Yeah.
Somebody drew the hitboxes on by hand on all these freaking monsters because you have to hit them.
Yeah.
There's no. That's the hardest part I had with this dragon was actually just landing a hit on
Big-ass
him because I kept
wings.
going between his legs, and it's
Yeah.
hard. See, I missed the wing there, right?
Hmm.
Oh man.
I got nothing to say. I just want to watch.
Right, and it's cinematic but not
Like, how
choreographed.
unreal is this? This look in any other game, this looks like a quick time event. You'd be like hitting square when it prompted you to.
Right, and what's not obvious here is my heart rate is like 150.
Just through
Because
the
if he
roof.
lands one of those fire
Oh,
attacks
you're
on me,
dead. You're
I'm done.
dead. Yeah.
You know, luckily he's the first sort of like big boss. Oh, there see my horse
Oh,
died because he hit me
okay,
with the
gotcha.
fire. And I think he's, you know, again, everything in this first area is like, this is what this game is like. And
Yeah.
so you come out of this, you know, like you said, 12, 15 hours into the game, you have played the first area, you have learned a lot about how the game works, you go through your first legacy dungeon and maybe fight the first boss at the end. And then the game's like, all right, where do you want to go next? And I feel like that's where both me and you both are. We're at the
Well, I
point where
I haven't done Stormvale, but I do finally feel like I understand the game. And a big part of that is having never played Souls games, right? I think if you're
Yeah.
a Souls game player, no problem. You pick this up. Obviously, you buy this.
You probably burn through this first. You
Yeah.
have a ton of fun in this first area,
Yeah.
but you sort of like, man, look at how stupid my guy looks.
What's up with that
Gosh,
hair? You got a
so
wig
dumb
on?
looking.
You know, a wig equipped? Oh, watch out for whatever that is. Man.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Big pustule.
That's it for me. You got one more here, Ken. I can throw up.
What is it? Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I just think, oh, this was actually super. So this is a super easy, low level mini boss, and it's not very exciting, quite frankly. This is a guy that you help. He says, "Don't go into that town," and there you can see some sort of riverboat creature.
What? Where are you? I haven't been here.
This is in Limgrave. This is in the starting area.
I don't recognize any of this. Oh,
I think
Ryan
it's
asks if this is on Game
northwest.
Pass. It's not.
No, it's not. But man, I'll tell you what.
Northwest? I don't
Yeah.
I
I think
didn't
it's
come here.
northwest. So there I summoned my bodyguards and they got in my way immediately. This guy's he doesn't do much other than summon other creatures. And if I can help it, I'm always going to fight a boss on horseback. It's just way easier.
I feel the opposite. If I can do
Really?
it, I'm
Oh,
gonna. I
man.
cannot figure out the horse. I understand that R1, R2 is right side, L1, L2 is left side
Yeah.
attacks, but I just can't do it. Even the Black Knight, you know, the guy that only appears
Yeah.
at night, that you told me to go fight. I tried to fight him on horse, got destroyed, so I tried to fight him
Really?
again, totally on foot. And
How do you take
I
him off
destroyed
the
him.
horse then?
Well, he comes at you, and you just hit
How
him
do you
until
stagger him?
you just hit the horse until the horse dies, and then he's on the ground.
Wow. Okay.
And then, so then I just like he'll respawn his horse. He does like an AOE attack and respawns his horse, but
Yeah.
you know, I just was kind of like I would time a charge attack where like when I would release it is right when he was about to hit me.
Yeah.
And it was kind of I was trading damage, but I have enough health where I could like take it
Gotcha.
and then you know do a I got like 7 flasks or whatever, so I could take a hit and flask, but it did so much damage to him that I beat him that way.
That's crazy to me because
Whoa,
I
look
feel,
at this. What's happening here?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel unstoppable on the horse. I
Man,
can get
and you
away
are look
quick.
at you crushing all these guys on the horse. I suck
Well,
at the
no,
horse,
this guy
man.
was. I was way overpowered for whatever that was. That was a very minor boss. Oh, I did get that ash. I forgot about that. I like my and then I don't know what the hell I dick around in this.
The one thing I haven't used much are the ashes because
It's weird how they're only equipable on certain weapons and shields, and it's not clear in the ash what it's equipable to. Because there's a guy you can buy them from, and it'll say like swords, but then you buy it and it's equipable to great swords in comparison to say single-handed whatever long swords. I don't know. And then I
Wait, if
forgot
you
that.
hit those guys when they're respawning, do they not
Yes.
respawn?
Yes.
What?
That's the whole.
What?
That's how they
Really?
operate. Yeah.
I went in a dungeon with skeletons, and I thought they were immortal, and I just ran around away from them for like 30 minutes. Really? You can kill them?
That's it. You got to kill them during that white.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only person who doesn't know what they're doing when they're playing
What?
this.
Yeah, there's one like dungeon where I would
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
just skeletons.
oh my
Just gotta
goodness.
smack them around. I think I kill a big guy at the end of this, but it's not a boss. It's just um, one of those big. They look like apes to me, or like a big
Oh,
chimpanzee.
the like mini giants.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Anybody who's in your first, if you're in Limgrave, you're fresh, you're looking to level up. I think you said it to me, Ben, and at the time I was like, "What do you mean you took down that caravan? Go to the caravan. That's what you got to grind.
Kill all those guys. You get like 4,000
over and
runes.
over and over. Kill them 5, 10, 15 times.
Oh, dang. You got a stone sword key? I hope so.
I do. But you know what? This is a really good talisman in here. I remember. I was super grateful for this because my build is so shield centric, but I burn stamina. I was like, oh God, what do I got to fight down here? This is where I'm like pressing. This was early this morning, and I'm like hitting the wrong buttons and shit, and I'm burning through what are they called, potions, and but take out that that caravan over and over and over. You can probably get 2 levels per clear.
Whoa, what's up with these turtles?
This is the turtle lair. Yeah, I was pretty weirded out.
Board to Play asks, what level are we? I think I'm level 27.
I think I'm 20. What?
Something like that.
That's it? I think I'm 27 or 28, the same. But I'm way behind Ben.
Well, not really, though. Like, you've probably cleared out more of Limgrave than I have. I just went into Stormvale. That's the only difference.
That's true. Yeah, that talisman is, if you put it... No, it's not in your flask. It's the
equipable talisman?
Yeah, it's a stamina regen. You regen stamina faster.
That's nice.
It is good. Works for me. I don't know what I was doing here. Man, the first time I took out that caravan, which is not a boss at all, right? There's one hard guy, which is one of those raider looking dudes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of disposables, and then there's 2 of these giants tied to the caravan who can barely hit you.
Yeah, they can't chase you around, and they drop 1,000 runes each.
Yeah. But, like, it's crazy to think that was hard at the time. There you go, Erd Tree.
Praise the Erd Tree. Where
I don't
are
know,
you?
man.
I've never been here.
Am I going to pull up my map?
Yeah, pull up here. Open up your map, Ken.
I think I will, actually, pretty soon. No, I think I will, because I'm trying to remember where I was, because a guy gives you a mission to come down here. He says, don't go down there. So you go down there, right? That's
obviously
how the game works.
Yep.
There he is right there. He's going to talk to me. And then he
shouldn't
shows
have come
up.
down here.
He comes to the round table.
Oh, that guy's at the round table now for me, and I was like, who the heck is this guy?
Oh, really?
He kept acting like I knew who he was, and I was like, buddy, I have no idea who you are.
Oh,
he's just like crouched by the round table, and I was like,
yeah,
get
he's
out of here, man.
Posted up under the table weirdly.
Well, he's definitely not going to be down here now. He's freaking at the round table.
Well, you can still go kill whatever that boat master
Maybe
is.
I will.
Well, he gives you like a quest where you relieve him of his duties as this, I don't know, he hunts bad guys or something. And what he gives you is a location on your map that teleports you to that place where it's really, really hard. So he sends you to the sending gate.
Oh, I see where you are. You're across the bridge. I have
Yeah.
not crossed that bridge. The one right
Okay.
to the left there.
Yeah.
The furthest east I made it is that site of grace right at the bridge before there's
Yeah.
the pumpkin guy.
Yep.
I have not crossed over here yet. This actually is the next thing I was going to do. Or I was deciding whether I wanted to go here or I wanted to go north. Because I did
Gotcha.
go through Stormvale, so I can go north now. And I didn't know if I should go east or north. I still don't know. I'm kind of
I
asking the
went
question.
down here and I don't know. And there's a. I was trying to figure out how to get
How are you
down
supposed to
here
get down there?
without dying. You got to go all the way around. There you
Follow
go. I
the
showed you.
topography.
Yeah.
Respect the topography.
There's
I've
a
been
big
watching.
fat guy. Yeah.
I've been watching City Planner plays City Skylines, and he's like, gotta respect the topography. He's always got the topography overview up, and he's like drawing the roads how you would in real life. He's like, gotta respect.
That's
He's
pretty
like,
good.
he's always like, put the water pipes below the road. That's where they belong.
Yep.
We don't own the land under the houses, so we can't put our water pipes there.
That's a good game. I think I just go kill this big guy and then it'll end. But
This guy here,
yeah,
this doofus.
yeah. Just
Yeah, now
burning
I'm
through.
just watching you play.
Right.
If we do release this in audio format, maybe we end it there.
Sorry.
I would say this
Yeah.
is our initial thoughts. This is already 15 hours of gameplay. If somebody took it away from me and I never saw it again, I got my money's worth.
I agree.
And there is
Completely.
at least 100 more hours of gameplay. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
all we've done is played the intro.
Yeah.
And it just gets bigger and better and grander, and I don't know what's to come. It's going to be harder. That's still scary to me.
Right.
I'm still scared
Well,
of.
I think that's the reason I'm stuck in this intro area, despite having unlocked the next area. Is like, I don't think I want to go to the next area. To be honest, I'm not ready for it.
I don't blame you. I have never been more. I'm not talking. Let's ignore like a horror game or something, which I don't
Sure.
play those anyway.
Yeah.
I have never been more scared playing a video game than when I was crouching, sneaking around Stormvale Castle, wondering what was around every corner, and
Yeah.
praying for the next checkpoint to appear.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I was down to one flask, and my choices were a door that led to what looked like 1,000 soldiers, or the boss that massacres you in the very beginning of the game. Like, and I was like,
okay. Gotcha.
well, which I was like, well, maybe you can go around this scary thing.
Yeah.
And then I go over to this doorway, and it was like, well, you can't go out there.
Yeah.
So I guess I got to go fight that beast. Killed that. And then all that does is unlock a shortcut back to the last site of grace you were at, and the only way forward is past the 1,000 soldiers. So, it's like, dang it.
Board to play makes a really good point. Favorite aspect of the game is it never makes you feel invincible. You're right. You will get to you'll feel strong at a certain point, which is what I did, which is I went and I leveled up. And I grinded and grinded and grinded and grinded until I could go knock out all these mini bosses, which I had discovered and gotten roasted by. I was like, well, I'm just going to slam these guys down. But you're never, you know that that's not the end. I'm going to get to an area where, and I have a clip, but I didn't put it in here. I went into the red area there. It's gone now, but
Oh, I can hear. I just back it up.
No,
I'll just back
no.
it up.
You go up into that red area of the map, and it's just hordes of massive enemies that you can't take down one, and they expect you to take down 3 or 4 because they work in packs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he says, Skyrim and other RPGs, you get to a point where you feel like God mode. Yeah, and it's usually like fairly early on, sort of, right? Like you can grind
Right.
really easy in a lot of RPGs, and
Well,
it's hard to grind in this.
they have the same learning curve like this does, where at first you're learning it, and then 5 hours in, you've learned how the game works, and then you just play it. But then
That's
you just
it.
play it.
That's it. Yeah.
And this is the first 5 hours you learn the game, and then you understand it, but it never gets easier. It just
You understand what
you
it's trying to
understand
get you
it.
to do, right? In
Yeah.
order to beat it, which is like you said, well, this guy has a big wind up, and then he pump fakes, and then he whacks you.
Right. Like
Right.
the boss that pump fakes is going to take 2 tries to beat minimum, because the first
Right.
try you got faked out.
Right. You have to, well, and you have to recognize that that's why you're being beat, right? It's
And there's traps. Like, the only reason I'm over here in this part of the map that I don't have the map for, that's not visible, it's all grayed out, is because I opened a treasure chest that teleported me there. And I was like, what the heck's going on here?
Yeah.
You know, so now I'm just like, I give up. I left. I beat that boss. It was like Ryan said earlier. I had boss fatigue. I won. I'm going back to the safe zone, which is in here. Now, Ken, have you beaten the red guy in here down on the bottom?
No.
I definitely lost a lot of souls to that guy, because I was like, what's down here? And I just jumped down there, and it was like,
What?
he just insta-kills
Where do you
you.
jump down? Is it
Right
the
to
big
the
overhang?
Yeah, right to the,
It's
that
weird
looks
'cause
down on
I'm
the red
watching
floor.
You play, but you're not playing. Okay, there's a boss.
Yeah,
down there?
I can't like go over there. Yeah, there is. Well, there's an invader, an NPC invader comes, like one of the red guys,
Okay.
and he has like a flail, and here I'm just trying to spend enough runes to level up. Like, I just need like a
Just
few
burn it.
more. I just need a little bit more, because I don't want to. I have so much, but I don't have quite enough to level.
My biggest mistake, I'll just goof around, and I'll kill and do whatever until I have like maybe 80% of my runes. And then because I've been just riding around and killing people, we're like, okay, let's go find a boss. Let's do something. But I'm already at 80% of the runes I need to level up. That's the worst time to go fight a boss.
Right.
Go fight a boss when you have 0 runes.
Well, that's what the runes in the inventory are for, right? It's when you're like, I'm 500 away. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll burn a couple of these so I can at least spend the majority of them to level up.
Right. Wow. 2010, 20, 21. Okay. Wow.
I'm
Look at all that
min-maxing, baby.
Why do you got so much intelligence?
Intelligence? What are you talking about? I only had 10, I think.
Oh, you got. Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
I got lots of decks. I got lots
That's
of
a lot
decks
of
because
decks.
I needed that to
Oh, you're right. 20, 20, 21, 17. Yeah.
for the
Okay.
sword I have. It required that much.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But now I'm going all strength because I want to go. I want to go like great swords. That's gonna be my thing.
Nice.
Yeah. See, there he is. I was like, who the heck is
And
this
that's
guy?
where he is for me after I saved him. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to. I don't want to spoil the story.
Just keeps going on and on. And
We'll just skip forward. Yeah, there's that guy. You meet him inside of Stormvale. There's the freaking blacksmith.
How do I get Rodrika again?
She just appeared here for me.
Damn it.
I don't
All
know.
right. I'll have to look it up.
She was just chilling. I was like, maybe I can level up my sword. Maybe I have a
What I
somber
need to
smithing
do-
stone 3.
I gotta
don't.
look up how to level up spells. I don't know if you can, but I assume you'd be able to. Because
don't
I'll
know.
tell you what, man. When I summon, you saw me beat at least one guy with. You summon summon some sort of distraction and then just pelt him with that firebomb.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, this
Easy
this
peasy.
is the sword I want to level up,
Oh,
but you
do
can
have you've got the finger seal or whatever it's
I
called.
do because I have 10 faith, which is enough to cast one healing spell that I never use.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
someday maybe I'll want to put some points in faith. Probably not.
Nah.
But yeah, see, so I want to level up my Bloodhound's
see.
Fang to +3,
Look at
but
that
it
thing.
requires a somber smithing stone level 3, which
Holy cow.
where do you find that? Where did I even get a level 2 one?
later. Way
I don't even
later. Yeah, I have one level 1, I think.
Yeah, right. So
What you got?
you can use normal smithing
Blood loss
stones
build up
on
55. Okay.
right, but
Let's
it would
see.
look at it would jump my damage
Wow, look at your damage is
significantly.
out of control. 200.
Yeah, that's why I like this sword. Plus, it does that. It does the power attack, backflip, teleport, power attack. So if you can land that
Jeez.
combo, it does like 500 damage.
Crazy.
I was like, what happens when you upgrade a shield? Nothing really. If you don't attack with it, it doesn't do anything. So,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. I'm always still trying to figure out how the heck the game works. Nothing
There's that
tells
guy with
you.
that sword. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. It's good stuff though. It's weird because I'm so anti Dark Souls. I'm not anti Dark Souls. I'm never gonna
It's
play one of those games.
it is not your type of game.
No, just doesn't. I'm not interested. This, on the
I
other hand, feels like a total flip of open world and Dark Souls.
I would agree. I say that Elden Ring makes me want to play Dark Souls even less.
Yes.
I am now
Yes.
absolutely confident I never have to play one of those games, and
Yes.
I'm so happy that we
Yes.
decided to play this one.
I agree. This is like, it's weird because it feels like a complete reversal of what they're used to making, but it's definitely the better version of it. I don't know. How do you say, like, hey, good job, you guys took a risk. You absolutely reinvented the thing you're famous for. Don't ever
Right.
make that thing you're famous for again.
I don't want to watch this. So this is a boss I am not ready for. This was right when I booted up the game. The sticks were cold, and boy, is it shows. I was like,
Got
oh,
the
maybe I'll get
wolves.
him.
All right.
Got my wolves. Got my shield.
Okay.
He
Oh, look
summons
at
a bunch
this.
of dudes.
Sweet. Oh, shit.
I was like, I'll get rid of these guys. They have
He's
so
gonna
much health.
slam you so hard.
Oh yeah, exactly. Here it comes.
Yeah.
Look at how much damage he did to me.
Yeah.
I don't stand a chance against this guy because even when I'm dead already. What the hell? I need to get stronger. And what does that mean? I don't know actually right now. Is it a better weapon? Is it better armor? Is it leveled up a weapon I already have maybe?
Level
Like
up
I
is
have.
the easy answer, but that takes so long, right? I mean,
And the thing is you only have so many smithing stones. What should I spend them on? If I use this mainly as a slashing weapon, I should probably level up a blunt weapon, like a hammer or something, but I
yeah,
don't
you
have
could.
a big hammer
You
yet.
gotta find one, yeah.
I gotta find one, then use all my smithing stones on that so that I have a sword and a hammer in case I run into any rock monsters. I don't know. Maybe I should have a quick weapon or something a little bit smaller
Oh,
so
got
that
barely did
occasionally
damage. Yeah.
because the problem with this sword is if I get surrounded, I'm done. It's so slow. There's
Yeah.
nothing I can do about it. One-on-one, it's fantastic.
Yeah, cutting through these guys. That's a lot of support guys, though, hey?
And I think
Holy
he
cow.
spawns even more when you get him down to 50%.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. See, I timed that wrong.
Yeah.
Certainly done a lot of damage to him. Now, right there, I got bit by... I tried to do the teleport, but I'm all out of FP. Because I
yeah.
summoned the wolves. So
Yeah.
nothing happened.
Yeah, that happens to me. I had to spend at least probably 4 levels on FP and stamina because I went and I followed this YouTube tutorial on like, okay, you're going to be a confessor, you're going to be a paladin build. So you need this shield, you need this Ashes of War, you need all these things. But then I realized, well, I can't survive because I can't tank the way. This is a stamina-based tank where we're using a whole bunch of FP for these, like, you pop these before you get into the battle. I was like,
Yeah.
well, I can't do either of those things. And so I had to go grind again. But that's fine. I like the combat in this game.
So, but this is the example of where this game's better. I can't beat that guy. So you know what I did? I left.
Yep. Yep.
I'm not. There's no reason to bang against that wall right now.
It's insane to think about, but those Dark Souls games. If you can't beat them, good luck.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
You don't
Try
know,
again.
That's right. There's nowhere else to go. Right. The boss is standing in front of the door. You need to get through to get to the next castle or whatever.
Yep. Yep. It's wild.
All right.
Spooky stuff.
Wow, we went through all of our gameplay. I'm glad we recorded some.
Yeah. I mean, I realized it was a very disjointed review and first thoughts, but there's a lot to unpack here.
It is. It's first impressions. Like we're both at the end, roughly the end of the first area of the game.
Mm-hmm.
We've never played these types of games before. It's worth saying, like, this is one of the greatest games I've ever played, I think.
Oh, I think this is Game of the Year 2022 already.
It's just unbelievable.
It would be a miracle if somebody pulled off an upset.
Yeah. I think we'll come back with our thoughts later. We'll get deeper into the game.
Could be a year from now.
Right. It just came out last Friday.
Yeah, 20 hours since last Friday. It's what, been 10 days? 2 hours a day on average?
Not 10 days. It's only Wednesday, so it's not even been a week.
Oh gosh. All right. So what are we averaging, like 3-4 hours a day?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I've been averaging probably playing it 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah. If I've got 30 minutes, I'm gonna fire it up for sure.
That's right. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. And maybe you're interested, maybe you're not. Ryan says that he's happy that we're happy, and he's probably not going to play it.
Wow.
So
sounds like a real salty ex-girlfriend. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm happy you're happy.
I'm happy that you're happy.
I'm kidding.
All right. We'll see you guys. Thanks for tuning in.